Any reason why you're filming the police station?
Yeah, there is a reason, yeah.
What is the reason?
Can you please identify yourself first?
Sorry?
Can you please identify yourself
Yeah.
first?
I'm Sergeant Mark Coates.
Sergeant Mark. And show number?
Your number's there?
5377.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm independent journalist. I'm gathering footage for a story.
You're an independent journalist?
Yes.
You got a press pass?
I'm independent. So.
Okay, you don't work for anyone then?
So do you know what independent
No, but
is?
as in, are you working for a particular company?
No, I'm independent. I work for myself.
So what is the purpose of filming today?
Just gathering some footage for a story, sir.
What's the story?
I cannot tell. I'm still working on it, so I cannot say.
But what is the reason that you're filming? Because this is a secure police building.
Yeah.
We also have to ask questions why people are filming.
Yeah. And I told you.
You haven't. You said it's for a story, but you haven't told me what the story's about.
I don't have to tell you about the stories, but I'm still working on it, right? So it's not finished. If it's finished, when I publish it, you'll see what the story is. But I'm still working on it, so I don't want to compromise my story.
You're not going to compromise the story, because I'm not. From my point of view, I just need to be happy you're here for the right reasons. Yeah. Because police officers and police buildings are potential targets.
From the moment the sergeant appeared, it was clear he wasn't there to assess facts. He was there to satisfy himself. He immediately pressed the auditor, demanding to know the purpose of his presence. When the answer didn't match what he wanted, he said, "I need to be happy you're here for the right reasons." This wasn't enforcing the law. It was enforcing his personal comfort. He attempted to justify his behavior by claiming police buildings are potential targets. But this is a blanket excuse with no evidential basis. Almost anything can be considered a target if logic is stretched far enough. The law does not give officers the power to act on subjective unease. It requires reasonable suspicion grounded in facts. Here, there were none, just a sergeant unhappy with the situation, attempting to cloak his discomfort as authority.
So I have to be happy, the reason why you're here.
So how can I make you happy?
By telling me what the idea is your story is about.
I cannot tell you about the story. I'm just gathering some footage, so I'm an independent journalist, and that's it really.
But you've got a story in mind.
Yeah, I do have a story in mind, yeah.
So I need to know what that story is about. Is it to do with what security like around the police building, what the coming and going to?
I cannot tell.
Because the route we're going to go down is you're going to be stopped and searched under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, whereby we will seize your phone, we'll look at your phone and say...
It's going to seize my phone?
We can seize your phone if we feel we have to.
What grounds, sir?
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act...
But what grounds?
Just telling you, let me explain.
Okay.
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, you can be stopped and detained and searched. And part of that search, we can look at your phone and we can see what photographs you've got.
Yeah, but
don't turn your phone off.
No, I'm not turning my phone off.
Turn your phone off, we will see.
No, I'm not turning your phone off.
Right, so that's the route we can go down. I'm not saying we will go down that route. But at the moment, I'm not satisfied. The reason why you're filming here, you've told me it's for a story.
Yeah, I'm an independent journalist.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me what the story's about.
But
do not turn your phone off.
No, I'm not turning it off. I don't want...
I'm going to seize your phone now. Do not turn your phone off.
No, I'm not turning it off. I don't want... No.
I'm going to seize your phone now.
I'm not turning...
I'm going to seize your phone at the moment under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act because you seem to be trying to turn it off.
No, just because I couldn't hold it.
When the sergeant failed to discover what the auditor's story was about, he immediately threatened to invoke Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, a power reserved strictly for situations where an officer has reasonable suspicion that someone is involved in terrorism. In this case, there was no evidence, no intelligence, nothing that even approached that threshold. It was simply a sergeant trying to leverage one of the most serious search powers in UK law to get his way. Then, without detaining an auditor or following any lawful procedure, he grabbed the phone straight from the auditor's hand, claiming he thought it was being turned off. At that moment, he had no legal authority, no arrest, no active search, no warrant. Under UK law, seizing someone's property without lawful justification is not just wrong, it is unlawful. This incident is a textbook example of how police powers can be abused. Pressure to get answers, threats of legislation that cannot be justified, and ultimately taking what you want without authority.
Sir.
So, have I committed a crime?
Well, we'll go down a bit then. You're now detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. You're going to be stopped and searched. Part of that, I need your details so I can check to see who you are, and we have the power.
But you're abusing. Okay, so if I don't give you my name, are you going to arrest me?
I'm not saying I'm going to arrest you. I'm saying you'll be detained. I've asked you the reason why you're filming.
Yeah.
You've told me for a story.
Yeah. I'm independent journalist.
Which is fine. I understand that. But you can't tell me the story. So
I cannot tell you the story, right? Because I'm working on it. It's not finished yet, sir.
But you must have the concept.
Yeah, I'm just walking around and film in the city of London.
You're filming a police station.
Yeah, why not? I'm staying on a public right? This is a public payment.
Yeah.
So you took my phone, right?
I've took your phone because I think you were trying to.
No, I don't want to. I just want to be filmed because I want to make sure what I'm doing is right. I'm not hiding. I want to keep filming. I don't want to stop filming. Please film me. Can I have? So you seize my phone, and I'm not happy with seizing my phone.
We haven't seized it. We're taking it off you.
Well, we're taking, but it's not in me. It's not in me. No, I don't want to turn it off. I want to continue filming. Can I have my phone and continue filming, sir?
At the moment, you're detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. Part of that is we are going to examine your phone for photographs you've been taken today, and power to do that. It's under Section 43. And also, I need to do some name checks on you, so I need some of your ID.
When the auditor pushed back, pointing out that his phone had already been taken and that he intended to keep filming in public, the sergeant tried to sidestep the issue. "We haven't seized it. We've taken it because we believed you were going to turn it off," he said. But this is a meaningless distinction. The moment someone's property is taken against their will, without legal authority, it is a seizure. Dressing it up with softer language doesn't make it lawful. The sergeant's real aim soon became clear. He treated the auditor as if detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act to examine his phone for photos and videos, claiming the legislation allowed it. While Section 43 permits searches for evidence relating to terrorism, it only applies when the original detention is lawful. Here, no terrorism suspicion was articulated and no reasonable grounds existed, just an officer fishing for a justification to access a journalist's work. This is a clear example of the misuse of police powers under the guise of legality.
So if I don't give you my name, are you going to arrest me?
Not particularly, but we will make some more inquiries. The quicker we get your ID, the quicker we can check.
So if it is a lawful order, I give him a lawful order to give my identity.
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, you are detained. As part of that, we have the power to look at your phone and also do some checks on you and to search you.
Okay, but so is it a lawful order?
It's an order. It's a
I
power.
give him a lawful order. So if you give me a lawful order to give you my name and date of birth, I'm going to give it, but under the threat of arrest. If you don't give me
under threat of arrest.
So if it's not under the threat of arrest, I don't want to give it.
Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act, we need to do some checks on you. Right. Shall I explain why you've been detained then?
Explain, what are the grounds?
Because you are seen outside the police station filming. As we've passed you, you're holding your phone like this, so we can photograph yourself, but clearly filming the gate. Part of that gate is a security pad, so I don't know whether you're filming to see if officers are pressing that to get access to the building. This is a police building. You gave a reason, you're an independent journalist and you're making a story. But you can't tell me the context of that story, you can't tell me why you're here.
I told you.
You haven't.
I told you, sir.
The sergeant's justification for invoking Section 43 is remarkably weak. First, he claimed the auditor was filming himself with the station gate in the background, because part of that gate includes a security keypad. He argued he couldn't be sure the auditor wasn't capturing officers using it to gain access. This is not reasonable suspicion. It is paranoia. The keypad is in plain view. The camera isn't even aimed at it. And there is no law against filming anything visible from a public space. His second justification is even worse. That the auditor refused to explain the context of his story or why he was there. Refusing to answer questions is not a criminal offense. It is a legal right. No one is obliged to justify their presence in public or disclose the details of their work to avoid being treated like a suspect. Using someone's refusal to comply as ground for a search is not suspicion. It is punishment for exercising rights. This case exposes a clear abuse of police powers.
I'll ask you one question. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Have you got anything on you that can harm me or harm
I don't answer any questions.
I'm Sergeant Mark Coates, warrant numbers 218186, attached to Southwark Police Station. You are detained.
218186.
You are detained under Section 43.
I don't agree. I don't agree with any search procedure. I'm gonna file a civil claim against you because you're violating my rights. I'm staying on public property, peacefully exercising my rights to film in public. I've done nothing wrong.
I haven't seen you done anything.
What grounds do you have to believe I'm a terrorist?
I didn't say you were a terrorist.
So why are you using Section 43 of Terrorism Act if I'm not a terrorist?
Nice and calm. Because you are filming outside a police station.
But you said I'm not a terrorist, sir.
I didn't say you're a terrorist. I said you're detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act.
So do you think I'm a terrorist?
I didn't say you were.
Why using Section 43? You have to have a reasonable grounds to believe I'm a terrorist.
Because you're seen outside the police station filming a keypad and officers going in and out.
But that's not real ground.
But in this current role, obviously, a lot of police officers are targeted by people who wish to do us harm.
You don't have reasonable grounds, sir.
This is where the sergeant's case completely unravels. When asked what grounds he has to suspect the auditor of terrorism, he openly admits he doesn't hold that belief. Section 43 of the Terrorism Act can only be used when there is reasonable suspicion of involvement in terrorism. By admitting no such suspicion exists, he has effectively acknowledged there is no lawful basis for detention. Instead of correcting this, he hides behind the law's name, insisting the detention is under Section 43 without meeting its legal threshold. Simply reciting the section number does not make it lawful. In fact, by admitting the absence of suspicion, he destroys the legal foundation for his actions. What remains is a hollow invocation of authority, exposing a blatant misuse of police powers and an abuse of the law.
I do not agree on searching my back.
You may not agree on it, sir, but I've tried to explain on a number of occasions.
I don't agree on that. This is unlawful search of my back. Unlawful. Sorry, what are you expecting to find, sir? You have to tell me what you're expecting to find from my back. Under Section 43 of Terrorism Act. What are you expecting to find, sir?
There may be evidence that you are using...
Like what?
If you're not going to keep talking over me, I'm not going to be able to explain to you, are you?
Okay, you have to tell me before starting the search, actually. Can you tell me what you're expecting to find in my back and in myself?
I'll explain to you, you've been detained under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act because we have the power to search your phone and your bag and you for any article...
But you have to tell me. You have to tell me.
You don't want to talk or you don't want to talk?
I just want to understand
any articles that you may use in the event of planning a terrorist attack.
Like what?
Any articles. A camera, a weapon, anything.
The fact it's both embarrassing and telling that the auditor has to teach the sergeant basic search procedure. While going through the auditor's belongings, the sergeant is reminded that he must state, before starting, exactly what he is searching for. This is not a favor. It is a legal requirement. Under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act and all UK stop and search powers, an officer must inform the person being searched of the specific object or type of evidence sought. This ensures the search is transparent, proportionate, and confined within the law's limits. Without declaring the target, the person being searched has no way of knowing whether the officer is acting lawfully or conducting a fishing expedition. This moment exposes both the sergeant's lack of procedural knowledge and the risk of abuse when officers disregard or misunderstand their legal duties.
I think I'm terrorist now.
No one thinks that, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'm here, you're searching my back like I've done something wrong. Crazy. Can I also have the water, please?
If you don't mind, you'll have that when we're finished with the search, okay?
Okay.
I don't know what's in there.
Oh, okay.
Just for safety, for everyone's safety.
Okay. The thorough search by the sergeant. Sorry, who are you, sir?
PC O'Neill.
PC O'Neill. Okay. And your shoulder number, please?
5459. 5459 Sierra Oscar.
I've contacted a solicitor and the solicitor sent a claim.
This is a direct result of Sergeant Mark Cott's arrogance and misuse of power. According to HNK solicitors, a £1,500 payout has been confirmed. And that's not coming from the sergeant's wages. That's taxpayer money covering the consequences of his unlawful behavior. The official statement is clear. He detained and searched a journalist without lawful grounds, seized his phone while the journalist was exercising a perfectly legal right to film in public, and misused Section 43 of the Terrorism Act to do it. He wasn't alone either. Other named officers stood by and assisted him. This isn't a matter of opinion. It's a legal acknowledgement that the sergeant acted unlawfully and that the force had to pay the price. From the very beginning, the sergeant approached the situation as though he had already reached a verdict. He pressed the auditor repeatedly for details about his work. This constant fishing wasn't about intelligence gathering. It was about wearing him down until he provided the answers the sergeant wanted. The law doesn't require anyone to justify filming in public, and the refusal to acknowledge that basic fact turned a simple encounter into a legal disaster. Then came the misuse of Section 43. This is where the sergeant's credibility completely collapses. Section 43 exists solely for situations where there is reasonable suspicion of terrorism. He openly admitted there was no such suspicion, yet still used it to detain and search the auditor. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was a conscious decision to invoke one of the UK's most serious stop powers without meeting the legal threshold. Once that admission was made, everything that followed was built on an unlawful foundation. The unlawful seizures only made matters worse. The first phone was snatched before any lawful power was in play, under the excuse that it might be turned off. That reasoning is so flimsy it wouldn't survive 30 seconds in court. Taking the second camera at the end confirmed that this was never about genuine threat assessment. These were physical grabs meant to take control and shut down recording. Stripping a journalist of their equipment without clear legal authority isn't policing. It's suppression. What makes this even more frustrating is how avoidable it was. A simple, professional approach acknowledging the legality of public filming and assessing any real security risk would have cost nothing, broken no laws, and earned respect. Instead, the sergeant's actions handed the auditor a clear legal win, drained 1,500 pounds from the public purse, and left another filmed example of how poor policing not only damages reputations, but comes with a price tag we all pay. For those watching, if you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps continue independent coverage. Also, check out Good Citizen. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some support. Thanks for watching.